This presentation begins by confronting the widely repeated claim that industrial carbon taxes are ineffective at reducing emissions. The purpose of this opening slide is to set the stage for a fact-based examination, showing that the economic and environmental research overwhelmingly contradicts this claim. What follows is a clear, evidence-driven demonstration that carbon pricing, when examined through real-world data rather than political rhetoric, performs strongly as a tool for lowering emissions while preserving economic flexibility. This introduction invites viewers to look beyond slogans and consider the measured impact of industrial carbon pricing. The evidence-based answer is that industrial carbon taxes are not the least effective tool for curbing emissions. In fact, decades of data from Canada, Europe, and other advanced economies show that carbon pricing consistently ranks as one of the most efficient and cost-effective methods for reducing industrial pollution. Carbon pricing works because it creates a clear economic signal, allowing companies to cut emissions in the ways that make the most financial sense rather than being forced into one-size-fits-all regulations. Major institutions, including the IMF, OECD, IPCC, and Canada's Ecofiscal Commission, have repeatedly confirmed that pricing pollution reduces emissions more cheaply and more reliably than many regulatory alternatives. This slide clarifies that the narrative of carbon taxes not working is rooted in politics, not in the published evidence. When pollution carries a cost, firms face a direct financial incentive to reduce emissions, adopt cleaner technologies, or retool their operations in ways that lower both pollution and expenses. Unlike traditional regulations that dictate the specific actions industries must take, carbon pricing allows companies to find the lowest cost method of cutting emissions. That flexibility explains why economists describe carbon pricing as a top-tier mitigation tool. It is not merely about discouraging pollution, it is about encouraging innovation, efficiency, and long-term competitiveness. British Columbia's carbon tax, one of the earliest and most studied in the world, successfully reduced per capita fuel use and emissions faster than other provinces, all while maintaining economic growth. In the United Kingdom, a robust carbon price floor rapidly shifted the electricity grid away from coal, cutting power sector emissions by more than 70% in under a decade. Across Europe, the EU emissions trading system has produced consistent, measurable reductions from industries previously considered difficult to decarbonize. These examples show that carbon pricing does not merely work in theory, it works in practice, in diverse economies, under different political environments, and at large scale. Some industrial sectors face technological barriers or global competitive pressures that require additional support. When pricing is combined with strategic public investments, such as cleaner grid infrastructure, electrification programs, industrial innovation funding, and clean technology development, the results are significantly stronger. Evidence from multiple jurisdictions shows that the most powerful climate strategy pairs carbon pricing with targeted investment, creating both the incentive to reduce emissions and the capacity to do so. Carbon taxes are easy political targets because the costs are visible while the benefits, lower emissions, cleaner air, innovation, are diffuse and gradual. High-emitting industries sometimes receive free allocations to prevent job loss-driven leakage to other jurisdictions, creating the perception of loopholes even when emissions still fall over time. Meanwhile, misinformation circulates quickly through social media, reinforcing political narratives rather than evidence. The persistence of this claim reflects how public opinion is shaped, not the actual performance of carbon policy. Industrial carbon taxes are not the least effective tool for emissions reduction. On the contrary, they are among the most efficient, adaptable, and economically balanced approaches available to governments. When accompanied by well-designed investments and policy supports, carbon pricing delivers consistent reductions in pollution while encouraging innovation and maintaining competitiveness. Claims that industrial carbon taxes don't work are political narratives, not factual assessments grounded in economic or environmental data. The Ecofiscal Commission supplied detailed Canadian evidence on how carbon pricing drives emissions reductions. The IPCC's Sixth Assessment Report offered the global scientific consensus on mitigation tools and ranked pricing among the most effective. The International Monetary Fund contributed extensive modeling showing that pricing pollution reduces emissions at the lowest macroeconomic cost. The OECD provided cross-country comparisons and empirical assessments of pricing systems around the world. Finally, McKittrick's 2016 paper offered a contrasting viewpoint that helps illuminate ongoing debates about policy design and economic efficiency. Each source played a distinct role in shaping the evidence presented here. Viewers can pause the slide to review full citations and active links. For more fact-based content about Canadian politics, democratic health, economic trends, and rhetorical analysis, the Facts for Canadians platforms offer ongoing resources and educational material. These outlets aim to strengthen public understanding, improve media literacy, and support evidence-based democratic engagement.